We are in very special days. In the days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Sorry. Getting ready for the day of Yom Kippur. As we know, Yom Kippur is the level of Lifnei Hashem Titaru, it says in the Torah. It is the day that we reach a level above the name Yud Kei Vav Kei. Lifnei Hashem is above. And we get such a close bond with God. But in everything in our traditional law, there's got to be always a but. The halacha tells us that this is the day, it's Sumo Shel Yom Mechaper, this is the day that everything gets forgiven for us. But it's one idea that we must do ourselves. And what is the idea? Bein Adam lechavaro, between one person to another. This, you cannot rely on your prayers. You cannot rely on the bond. You got to do it yourself. And as many explain, that it's all interconnected. So in order to have the real prayer, the real connection, the real bond with Hashem and Yom Kippur, that everything gets forgiven, be starting fresh again, you need to take care of Bein Adam lechavaro. You need to take care first anything between you and your friend. If there was anything wrong. Comes the question, how do we do it? There's many friends that I don't see anymore. There's many people that I didn't see for a long time. How do we do it? How can I remember everything? And this is what we pray, the Aseret Yemei Teshuvah. We pray to Hashem that we should be able to do that. Should be able to see whoever we need to see and ask forgiveness from wherever we have to ask forgiveness in order to be clear with that for Yom Kippur. But this itself is a merit. We should be able to do all that. And I wanted to share a short story about it. It's a real story. It happened in Yerushalayim, my city, but it's a real story, not from the books. And the story goes about a certain fellow, he's a rabbi too. And he tells us a story that he always makes sure before Yom Kippurim, even more, before Rosh Hashanah, to get a haircut. It seems like a very funny story, but listen to the story. Before Rosh Hashanah to get a haircut. But because he's a rabbi, he has a barber that comes to his house, he makes an appointment with him, he comes to his house and he gives him a haircut. This particular year, he's arranging with a barber to come in the evening to give him a haircut before Rosh Hashanah, but he's not there. Next day he calls him up, or later at night, says, oh, sorry, I forgot. You know, it happens. We'll make up for tomorrow night. He says the next night he calls him before, said, no, I'm sorry, I made up with you, but I can't really make it. To make a long story short, he says, I could not get a haircut before Rosh Hashanah. I said, no, it is what it is. At least before Yom Kippur, I'll get a haircut. So he calls him after Rosh Hashanah and he makes an appointment with him. A long story, I'm not getting into all the details. The bottom line is, he postpones him every day, but another story. And this rabbi tells us a story, he says, it got to the point, I realized that if I rely on a regular barber, I'm not getting a haircut even before Yom Kippur. But great people, especially in Yerushalayim, it's very important for them to get his haircut before. This is the way you get ready for holiday, by getting a haircut, as it says in halacha too. So finally he decides, I can't rely on my regular barber, let me just go to a barber shop. Even though he never goes, but there's no choice, you do it. So he goes to a regular barber shop, and you know, barber shop, you take a line, you wait till it comes your turn. He's waiting. As he's waiting, some other fellow walks in too, and this other fellow, he says, sees me, and he walks over to me, and he says, oh, wow, I can't believe I see you here. Come outside, I got to talk to you. And I said, oh, talk to me, pleasure, but what do I have to do with you? No, he said, it's so important. You don't know how much I pray to God to see you. And finally God answered my prayers and I see you now. You must come outside, I must talk to you. So I'm getting more and more nervous. Why do you need to talk to me? And you're praying to God to see me. God answered your prayers, you see me. What did I do wrong? He says, no, please come outside, we'll talk outside private. Okay? We walk outside. The fellow tells him, listen very carefully to me. About 6 months ago, there was a whole day of prayer in the big stadium. And all of us, thousands upon thousands of us went there. But when this day of prayer was over, I had to go back home, like everybody else. We were waiting for the bus. But self-understood, there was a lineup from here, blocks line up to get on the bus. And finally the bus comes. As you know, every Yerushalayim, everybody starts pushing to the bus. And you were standing in front of me. That's what he tells me the story. You were standing in front of me, but I really need to get on the bus. I was pushing. I have the muscles. I pushed myself in. I got on the bus. And it closed the doors right behind me, and you stayed down the bus. I made it. You didn't. As soon as the bus closed, I said to myself, what did I just do? I took away a Jew was waiting. I snuck in. I got the place. What is this fear? But I couldn't do anything. The bus is already going, and you were waiting, I guess, for the next bus to come. Whenever it will be. I felt so guilty. I felt so bad. Why would I do this to another person? But I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are. So since that day, for 6 months, I'm praying and davening to Hashem. Please bring that person to me. I need to ask forgiveness. And then it got closer and closer. Came before Rosh Hashanah. I said, please God, before Rosh Hashanah, make sure, please help me to find that person. I can apologize to him. But it didn't happen. And Rosh Hashanah went over. It passed Rosh Hashanah. I said to myself, what's going to be? We're already almost by Yom Kippur, and I still don't see that person. I was praying to God, crying to God, asking for help to bring the person to me. And guess what? Today, I don't really come here, but I went to the rabbi next door to ask him a question. And while I went to ask him a question, I said, there's a barber over here, let me go in. And who do I see? I see you. God answered my prayers. When he said, I'm asking you now, please forgive me. I said to him, shock, for sure I forgive you. But wow, look how God is nice to you. And he brought me to the barber today. I never go to this barber. I never go to a barber altogether. The barber comes to me. But there's a whole story, as we said before, that's why I'm here. But God made it. He helped you. That this barber of mine postponed me and he canceled on me. Just I should be here. Just to make you feel better. You should be able to ask me for forgiveness. When I forgive you, they hugged together, they kissed, and they became very close before Yom Kippur. This is a beautiful story I just heard. Amazing story. How if we really try, if we really want to be able to get everyone to forgive me, to be able to see, Hashem will answer my prayers. So let's do it. Let's do our focus. Let's do our work to be able to make sure to clear with everybody, to be in love with every Jew, male, female, boys, girls, everybody, to unite together and forgive each other, as it says in Allah. And then, when we come to Yom Kippur, we'll meet Hashem, we'll bond with God, we'll have a beautiful, beautiful year. Gamar Chatima Tova to all of you and all of us and all Klal Yisrael.